Okay, so here's part of the process. You gotta turn on the hot water and let it get all scalding hot. Let it go in there for a few minutes. Then you put it in your boiling kettle. And I make 2 cups of coffee, so I put 2 in the boiling kettle. Alright. Then after you put it in the boiling kettle, you take your other glass, and then I take these 2 guys and I also get them in some hot water from the sink. Now, you normally wouldn't set those in the sink, but because we microfiber the sink every day, it's okay. Now also the granite will absorb heat, so we put the little trivet pot holders here to not let the granite absorb the heat from the coffee cups. Right now we're going to rinse the filters. First thing I did though was I took the water and I put it on right there to get it cooking, because that's the slowest part of the process. I'm going to fold the filters. So the filters you fold, I'm doing it one-handed. Like this. Normally I wouldn't lay them on the trivets to fold them. I would pick them up in my hand and fold them. Fold these 2 edges very tight on the filters. You don't have to do any of this. You can just dump it in there and make your coffee. But these are little things that I've found that will help. And if everything improves 2 to 5% your coffee, you can have really good coffee. So then remember we talked about rinsing the filter. And I read this somewhere, I thought it's crazy. But I can smell the processing paper smell from this filter. So you want to get that paper smell, which turns into a taste, out of your filter. Okay, the water just stopped boiling, so we're going to grab it here. Got the second filter in there, so I dump out 1 cup. I dump out the second cup. And they're kind of warm now. You know, most people would be like, oh, that's fine. But no, we're going to put the boiling hot water in. And then I only get the 2 cups in there because I want it to boil quickly. I want that to start steeping. And then I get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of water because I'm going to use it for those filters. Okay, now we're going to get our coffee. We've got 2 things here. A little chicory flavor. I don't like flavored coffee, but I do like my chicory. And then we have Major Dick, also known as Major Dickinson. And there's our little filter. I'm doing this one-handed. I hope it won't be too awkward. Here. Hold on. Straighten out my bag so there's a straight shot there. So, yeah, I'm supposed to spill beans. I'm doing amateur hour here, but so I'll put that much in, right about to the top. Keep an eye on this here because if it gets past the boiling spot, you gotta cool it down. So here's the pulsing method because you don't want to just grind like crazy. Just jumps up and down. You can hear it when it gets fine enough. And sometimes I would look at it, but I'm not going to look at it because I already have an idea of what the grind is but you know, when you're doing it, just make sure you don't have that big old grind that people make drip coffee with. You want a pretty fine grind, but you don't want it to be espresso grind. Okay, so the water is almost ready. The second cup of hot water has boiled. For the water, by the way, I did use pouring the hot water from our first pouring in there. For the water, I used spring water. I don't use filtered. And then I'll take another one and I'll get a little more water in there because I'll probably... So steeping the cup a second time gets it even hotter because you want a cup as hot as possible. And you can cut out any of these steps. It's up to you. I really don't care. It's just what I do to make the best possible cup of coffee. Okay, so one thing I do is I take this chicory. I know all the coffee connoisseurs are gonna go, oh, that's a filler. But I like it. And I just put one little scoop of chicory in there. Come over here, our water is too hot. And let it get past the boiling mark. I'll just let it sit there for a second. And then you make sure you turn your eye off. And I think we're ready to go. So I'll go like this, warming that unit up again. I'll go like, can't let your filter fall in. If you pour it on the edge, it'll grab the filter. Okay, so those plastic cone filters are getting really hot. Get one more bit of hot water in here for the second one, that cup. This one's already got it, but I'll just polish all the hot water while the cones are doing their thing. That's right at the edge of the 200 degree mark. 200 degrees is a sweet spot. So a degree or two above, a degree or two below. Water drip out is good. Work and work. Okay. So dump my water out. Got a little lazy with my camera work there, sorry. Now, so I'll take this right here. It almost fills up the coffee filter. And then you can put a little indent in it. And my girl, let me make hers. She likes a little, not as strong as me. So I'll make one with a little less. So I didn't put as much coffee in that one. The pulsing is there. Sounds about right. Tap it a little bit to get the coffee to settle down. And it looks like that when it comes out. I'll pour that right in there. Okay, then you take and give yourself, this is the Café du Monde. I don't like the French market. I prefer the Café du Monde. Give yourself the little divot. Cover that up. Now, you're supposed to wet the coffee. Somebody taught me this. I looked it up. It makes sense. You wet the coffee. You put a little in there and you let that sit for a minute and kind of wet the coffee. It does something exciting in there that activates the coffee before just pouring it in. So it also helps release the gases. When you've got the gases going on, it helps release the gases from really fresh espresso. So when my espresso comes in the mail, it's got some gases. And it releases the gases. So this is probably the funnest part, is actually pouring the water, building your rosebud, your blooming rosebud of coffee without going over the edge. Some mornings I go over the edge Get a little grinds in the coffee. That's okay. My lady doesn't drink the last sip. I'm the only one that drinks the last sip of anything. You can actually build a nice little, and you're hitting the center. And watch the whole, we went over the edge a little bit there. See, I went almost over the edge, so you gotta be careful. And then it's got the little cheat holes so you can look down there and see. I used to make 2 separate cups until I got the second cone filter. I really like that. Because then I can make both cups. It helps me get it done quite a lot quicker. It's a time-consuming process. It's kind of like a ritual. Morning thing. I always get up and I make the coffee. I don't ever not make the coffee. Good days, bad days, I make the coffee. Any day, every day, I make the coffee. One of the things you don't want to do is walk away from it when it's too full, because it gets all over the counter. That's why it's good to do it next to the sink. And these little waffle things here hold water, so once or twice I have overdone myself, got a little excited, put too much water in it, didn't realize it. So you can also pick it up and check it. Usually I like to have a little room in it. Oh, it's looking good. So I'm gonna let both of those drip out. Now, if you've got one of these really nice Simple Human trash cans, you don't want to put your hot coffee grinds in this trash can because it will make condensation on it and it turns it into a sweaty mess. So what you do is you give it a couple bonks right here and you set it in the sink. Don't worry about dirty dishes in the sink because it's okay. You set it in the sink and you let the steam cool from it. Once it cools, you can throw it away and it won't make a mess. But that is how you make the perfect cup of pour over coffee. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to all my videos. This is how I make my living. So I really do appreciate your patience with the commercials. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. This is Michael Dillon. See you soon.